It's the Chartographers.
Well, that was great. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye. This is the Chartographers.
All we had to say about Whitney Houston.
Exactly. It's Chartographers Happy Hour Minisode. Guys, let me tell you something. We've had Happy Hour Minisodes before. We're pretty fucking wasted. And it's great. The thing is that we've been talking... I mean, I was not expecting our Whitney Houston episode for 8 albums to be broken up into 2 parts.
Not even slightly.
2 hour-long parts. But then again, we have Nick Shoda coming back on his 3rd triumphant appearance.
That's how much time we take on 14 albums.
Right.
Exactly. Not literally twice the amount, but damn close.
I know, but also we were talking about the bad albums like so much in terms of like not just like that they were bad, but why they were bad.
Right.
And like it just rolled over into a thing.
I mean, we talked about those first 2 albums for over half an hour.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, look, I just gotta say, sometimes
it's not right, but it's okay.
We have to give the legends their time. We got to give the legends their due.
Yep.
And I think that whenever you have me around, you're gonna get some long-winded ass bullshit, and that is
well. Again, we recorded for 2 hours, but I'm gonna edit both of these down to a concise 45 minutes, so it's gonna be fine.
Ew.
So
Whoa.
disgusting.
Whoa.
So for the record, the drunken people you're talking to right now is me, Evan Sadi. It's Taran O'Reilly.
Hi.
And it's our delightful and wonderful guest that we're happy to have back for a 3rd time, Nick Shoda.
hello. That's
Alright, well, I don't know how long this episode's gonna be, but we are into it. So guys, let's just throw some structure onto this thing before it gets too crazy. Happy Hour Minisode thing, we start with the start of every Happy Hour Minisode. Guys, what's the worst Whitney Houston song? Of which there are options.
Oh yes. My choice is Oh Yes from My Love Is Your Love.
My gut instinct, honestly, is her cover of A Song for You, just because it's a gorgeous and incredible song that there's no amount of degree of which they fucked it up. Like, it's every degree of they fucked it up. Like,
How about
it's so bad.
Every song Akon's ever recorded.
That's a really cool... I mean, again, let's not forget, Salute, the last song off of I Look to You. I'm a soldier girl! Like, oh, come the fuck on. Like, There's just a lot on that one.
yeah.
Which is a shame because it shares the same space with $1 Million Bill, which I want to fucking jam out to so bad, so good.
I mean, this is tough. I
go to The Rock.
I'm gonna go with You Light Up My Life.
Ugh. Choice.
Her
Choice.
cover of You Light Up My Life is
From Just Whitney.
It's rough, and also, first of all, the original is
Sappy
schmaltzy
shit.
enough, and I think that Whitney Houston may be the greatest cover artist of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, she's done so many incredible covers.
And so for her to fuck up a cover to that degree.
Well, I don't think it's so much that she fucked it up as much as that I didn't feel like that was a Whitney Houston song in the way that, and it's an unfair comparison, but I Will Always Love You is, I mean, of course, no disrespect to Dolly Parton and her original, which I think is excellent in its own right, but I Will Always Love You is like signature Whitney.
I mean, she altered the structure of that chorus. She changed the length of notes and she completely transformed that song.
Yeah.
Whereas
And that had, and I feel bad too, because that was one of the most successful singles of all time.
Yep.
That initially had the record for the longest weeks at #1 at 14. Like, that thing was just, it won the Grammy for Album of the Year, and that song won for Record of the Year. Like, that thing was just such an unstoppable force. And I feel bad, too, because when we were watching that Showtime documentary, which, again, we keep referencing, it talks about how, she was famous as fuck, and then The Bodyguard happened.
Yeah.
Because, before...
and then she became, too famous.
Yeah, legitimately hit this level of just excessive fame. And the thing is that, it's one of the things that, again, it's the Happy Hour Minisode, and I know we had a really drunken-ish intro, but guys, holy shit, man. Her life is one of the saddest things to like happen. And that's the thing, like, again, like when we were doing research week beforehand, before the documentary and after the documentary were different things. Seeing her watch her perform live were different things. But like seeing that emotional context of like someone who is so genuinely talented, thrust into fame at a young age. And there's a lot of people that have been thrust into fame at a young age. I get it. You don't necessarily have a childhood. Things are fucked up for you from that point onward. But it's just like, as they talked about her meeting with Bobby Brown, and as other people pointed out to me, and I agree with them, Bobby Brown is not the sole reason for her life being what it is, but goodness, it was a factor.
Certainly had a hand in
it. That was the thing that was blowing our minds during the documentary we were watching, is that for the longest time, Whitney was fighting off rumors that she was gay. Like, we were just like, is this, like, manufactured?
Well,
or, like, what was...
To be fair, her best friend was gay.
Yeah.
She was hanging out with a lesbian
all
like
the time,
24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's not
and
that,
Robin,
and while that's terrible, it's not like too much of a stretch.
Exactly. And Robin was a supportive and kind, presence in her life as far as we know. Like she was a friend from a young age, just always supported Whitney in pretty much everything that she did. Like, she was a good Whitney handler, which not everyone was.
And in early 90s, late 80s, early 90s interviews with her, she gets asked a lot about those rumors, and she denies them every time. And, every time the interviewers will typically ask her, are you a gay? Are you gay? Or how do you respond to those rumors? Are you a lesbian? Whatever. And she denies them, and I don't think that Whitney Houston was a lesbian. I think that she might have been bisexual. I think that she might not have totally defined her sexuality. I think it's totally plausible that they had a romantic relationship, and I think it's really sad that she was not able to live that, if that was the case, which by all accounts it was.
Well, there was that Oprah interview with Sissy Houston, her mother, the gospel singer, where it's just like, so if and Oprah asked her, like, so it would, these gay rumors that came out, like, if she was gay, that would have been upsetting too. She says, absolutely. Yeah. And then Oprah asks as a follow-up question, well, were you then happy when Bobby Brown came along? And she says, no. Right. Just like...
Well, to be fair, we then saw exactly why Sissy Houston was not happy that Bobby Brown was there. Mm-hmm. I mean, as much as there was conflict between Whitney and Sissy... in the 2000s, by all accounts, Sissy was the only person trying to save her. Yeah. Everyone else in her life was just a yes man, or in Bobby's case, like, encouraging her, pushing her to that next hit.
And
well, my favorite quote about all of that was the fact that beforehand, Whitney was on drugs, Bobby had an alcohol addiction, and when they got together, they both did both.
And they both didn't just do both, they both did them even harder.
Yeah.
I think that if the two of them hadn't ended up together, it's not to say that she wouldn't have ended up with the problems that she did. She talks about this in the Oprah interview that she did in 2009. She said that before The Bodyguard, the drugs that she did were very light. Mm-hmm. They were sort of recreational, by all accounts. And yes, she did do them before she met Bobby. Her brother went on record saying that he was the first person to ever give her drugs. But, I do think that they genuinely loved each other.
That's the thing, too, yeah. Because when you see clips from Being Bobby Brown, which is a fucked up experiment by itself, but, like, there are moments... Oh, yes, Taran has a lot to say about that.
Oh my gosh, so I told one of my coworkers that I was doing this episode today, and they sent me this clip from Being Bobby Brown, where Bobby Brown is constipated on the toilet, and he can't get the shit out, and so Whitney sticks his finger up there and helps him.
Oh my god! Gee, this was what reality TV was in 2004?
So...
Holy shit.
I have not... I've watched, I think, most of
Being Bobby
Whitney's public... whatever.
Again, you're the lifelong fan here.
Well, I was telling a friend yesterday, I was like, so this is going to sound like it's not something that I regularly do, but I've been listening to a lot of Whitney Houston this week. But like that's every week.
Yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces of Being Bobby Brown. I can't watch it. It's so sad. I mean, it was the early-ish days of that type of reality television. It predates Kardashians. It predates the idea that we should try and construct these things into a
narrative
concrete
arc
narrative.
of some sort, yeah.
And so you are seeing two people who are in the throes of drug addiction, and we're throwing that out on television. And that was something that was totally cool with us in 2006 or 2005, whenever it was.
Yeah, that just wouldn't fly today.
I mean,
like, at the time, Whitney was like, I'm not doing another season of this. It's terrible. But even today, like, full-blown drug addiction, if the point of the show is not to help that person, you would get such a huge backlash. Like, it's no longer acceptable to glorify that.
Mm-hmm.
I would push back on that in the sense that I think they would find a way to spin it into a cute narrative.
Right.
Sure.
Or they would spin it in a more dramatic way. I think part of the reason why it didn't end up going for a second season is that by the time it was around that period where it would have been up for a second season, I think that was roughly when Whitney filed for divorce.
Again.
The timeline of things is really confusing. And it's also confusing in the documentary.
They jump around so much from that documentary because they also just have so much footage from 1999.
Oh my god,
they show footage from 1999 for every point they're making.
Which
is a little confusing chronologically.
There's that moment backstage when Bobby Brown grabs Robin and is just trying to say, like, this girl right here,
and she's over it.
She's literally trying to escape.
Yeah, the entire time.
And he's, like, holding her in place.
And they apparently they got into, like,
physical...
fist fights.
Right,
Yeah.
like, Whitney had to get between them so they'd stop punching each other.
Yeah. And I'm just so fascinated by the dynamics of that relationship because...
That trio?
Yes, because if I were Robin Crawford and the love of my life were marrying someone and they were falling in love, I don't know how I would be able to deal with that. Like,
right.
And how I would be able to stay on. And so, which is why that makes that relationship very confusing because...
I mean, the fact that she stuck around for 9 years after they got married is... kind of insane.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get it,
Yeah.
but, like, what she was subjecting herself to is just crazy.
Okay. So what we're going to do from now on is that we're talking about a sad thing. I'm going to get us out of the sad thing gradually through 3 steps. We're still going to keep it sad a little bit. It's going to get less sad, and then it's going to get joyous. Okay, so trust me on this one here. But we're hearing it. We're hearing it right now, and I'm sorry to do this to you, Nick. I do have to ask, though.
What's that?
Where were you? What was happening when you found out that Whitney passed away?
Oh, I was coming home from a yoga class.
Uh-huh.
I was at, I believe, Bryn Mawr stop.
We have an international audience. I have no idea if that means anything to them.
I was riding the train home.
Uh-huh.
And my boyfriend at the time texted me. Oh shit! I wish I could remember what he said exactly. I think he asked me, "Where are you?" And I texted him back. I was like, "I'm on the train home."
Yeah.
And something about that, and he was like, "Oh, okay," or something along those lines. And there was something about that was a little strange. It was a little out of character.
Because you could read the context of the text.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's odd. Yeah.
And I was like, is something going on? And so I just logged onto Facebook to see if like there was something public happening. And the first thing that I saw was R.I.P.
Whitney.
R.I.P. Whitney. And I remember... I remember my heart sinking, my like stomach dropping. There were a lot of different things going on because on the one hand, nothing about it was unexpected, right?
Yeah. That's the roughest part of
that's,
all. Yeah.
You know, because, she was she was reported dead on 9/11.
Yeah.
By accident, but I also, and what was sort of sweet was that, like, people started texting me and calling me, which was like, it's like, oh,
I mean,
nice.
yes,
Like, this is not about me at all, but it's like really nice. Like,
everyone
It was
knows.
like for me when Prince died and like
Yeah.
8 people reached out like, "Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Have you heard?" I'm like, "Yes. I mean, it's sad. I'm dealing with it, but thank you for reaching out."
Yeah. It's that sort of thing where, you know,
your love of it is out there enough where people respond to it.
right, and people from like that I hadn't spoken to in years like texted me or called or whatever, and that was really sweet. And I just remember the next day I went for a walk and I just cycled through her albums, and I remember very vividly walking past a graveyard and All at Once came on, and I never really had a good cry about it at any point, I don't think. I shed like a tear during the funeral, and I did watch all 3.5 hours of that, which was like devastating and just but I just remember vividly walking down the street and just being like, I don't even know how to feel about this, but at the same time also thinking like, I mean, it's a famous person, and like also this person meant so much more to so many other people and had so much more significance.
Yeah, but don't discount your own feelings.
But I remember thinking like, this is dumb. I shouldn't be sad. It's a celebrity. Like whatever. Like, you know. But at the same time, it is.
She defines so much of your life.
A sad story is a sad story, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you personally know that person or not. It
Yeah.
can still be devastating.
I was sad when Prince fucking died.
I mean, like,
I saw him live, but I never like met him. You know.
Yeah.
I'm like starting to cry a little right now.
You know?
Because then we were talking about this, and then I started thinking about Bobby Christina, and like,
Ugh.
that might be the saddest part.
Of all. And then the fact that fucking Bobby Brown married, like, what,
Oh
4
my God.
or 5 months after?
4 months after Whitney died, Bobby Brown got remarried.
Yeah.
I want him to burn in hell.
Yeah.
I like.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was the sad part. That was the sad
Yeah.
part. Now we're going to get to a less sad part before we get to the happy part. Because it is a happy hour Minisode. We're keeping it light, motherfuckers. So the less sad part... The less sad part... Shoda has a very unique perspective. Taran hasn't heard this. I have.
Oh.
Nick saw her live. Not in the greatest of circumstances, but he saw her live.
Okay.
Walk us through, baby.
So, as part of the I Look to You album release cycle,
2009.
this was August of 2009, she appeared on the Oprah Show. This was in the 24th season, and they had this is a big deal. 24th season premiere. It was going to be a sit-down with Whitney Houston, as Oprah would do. I put it out into the universe. I think I even posted on Facebook. It's like, Whitney Houston's going to be on the Oprah Show. How can I get there? And a few weeks before, they posted something on Oprah's website. It's like, calling all Whitney Houston super fans. And you had to submit a little like blurb about why you should be in the audience for the Whitney Houston thing. And so, and I so wish that I had saved this in some form or fashion, because I was like probably a half bottle of wine in, and I'm sure, like, whatever I wrote, I'm sure was deeply impassioned. So I got a call from them, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to be in the audience for this?" And I was like, "Well, yes, absolutely." However, the week prior to that, I had just been in the audience for the Oprah Show as a guest of a friend of mine who randomly got picked to be a part of it. So I was like, this is weird. I was just there last week. I know that you only get to be a part of the audience once per season.
Oh.
Yeah, that was their
thing.
big rule.
Yeah.
But I was like, I wasn't the person who was picked. I was just the guest. So, is it okay? I know that there's that rule. I just wanted to double check. Which is dumb in retrospect. I should have been like, yeah, fuck yes, I will be there, because of course they probably wouldn't.
They don't care. They don't know.
But I asked the woman who called me. I was like, I was just there last week. Like, is it okay? And she was like, she put me on hold for a minute, and she came back and she was like, we will allow you to be in the audience, but if you tell anyone, I will have you personally escorted from the building. So I was like, okay, I swear to God, I will not tell anyone. Okay. So
That's so funny.
and in the phone call, she was like, Whitney filmed the interview with Oprah, and we're just bringing in a group of Whitney super fans to come and watch it in the studio, and she's not going to be there. We're just, we want
fans.
Oprah has to film a part of the introductions to do it, and we want people to be there to hype up the thing. So I was like, great. And I went there with my friend Alan, who is another Whitney fan.
Super fan.
And
what's the Whitney fan army called?
Whitney fans?
People who love good goddamn music. Thank you.
That was pre-fan army.
Yeah,
days.
please.
I hate the fan army trend.
Yeah,
you're just a fucking fan of the army.
You're a fucking fan of the army. No,
a fucking fan of the artist.
The bodyguards. They're called the
The
bodyguards.
fucking Rihanna Navy.
Or the Whitney guards would probably.
Whitney guards.
Shut the fuck up, Nick.
Listen,
You're
you're the one who asked. Okay.
Shut the fuck up, Evan.
That's
You're
fair.
hosting.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so we get there and Oprah comes in and it's amazing and just delightful.
Feel the Oprah presence.
And there's a screen and they show this interview. And if you have not seen this interview, it's fascinating. Whitney is so together. She talks very honestly about her drug abuse. There's some criticism of the interview at the time that everything that she was saying was very
repackaged.
It seemed very scripted. I do think that Oprah kind of guided her to where she wanted the narrative to be, which was interesting to watch, especially because I just rewatched that again today. But it's really interesting. She admits in this interview, yeah, I cocaine was my thing. We would lace joints with coke, and we would sit there and be high all day, and that's what we would do. Which I thought was, I was shocked at the time that she would be so honest, especially in light of the Diane Sawyer interview where she was she admitted to doing drugs, but she was still pretty defensive about it. So you saw someone who was very, I don't know. I thought that she was honest in a way that I didn't expect her to be. So they show us bits and pieces of this.
Yeah.
And Oprah comes back and she does, "Ladies and gentlemen, Whitney Houston!" So of course all of us dum-dums who were sitting there just watching this interview, all excited just to be at Harpo Studios, under the impression that Whitney's not going to be there, when of course she's going to be there. There's a giant fucking screen, hiding the stage.
Yeah.
But we all lose our shit. Whitney comes out and...
Oh my god.
You guys. I remember what I was wearing. I remember where I was sitting. I remember I was wearing a light blue button-up shirt and I didn't have an undershirt under, and I immediately started sweating through it. And I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack because it was just too much. I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
It was surprising Whitney Houston.
There's no way that this is real. And she comes out and she sings, "I don't know my own strength," and then she says that she wants to do it again, so they have us do the big reveal again, which was awesome.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
TV.
Pre-filmed TV.
Yeah, it was so great. I got to see her sing the same song twice, and I would be happy to hear her sing any song twice. And so after that, they say, okay, so Whitney's gonna do one more song. It's just gonna be for this studio audience, right? So she comes out and she starts singing "I Love the Lord," and she just. I was nervous because I think at this point she'd done her Good Morning America performance. Maybe this was out. Whatever. She'd done a performance, I think, recently where her voice was not super great. And that was hard. But she sounded great. And she's going out there, she's singing "I Love the Lord," and it's beautiful, and people are crying, and she comes toward the edge of the stage and she falls right off of it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
No! No!
God. To be fair, I just want to be clear. So what we're talking about is it's not like a full face plant. It's more like a step off of the stage, right? But so immediately, you know, like, people have to help her back up on stage. But what was amazing was that she kept going with the song. They didn't stop the song. She kept going. She's like, I'm so embarrassed. I fell off stage at the Oprah Winfrey show, but I got back up, and I love the Lord. You know, this whole thing, and it was incredible.
I'm so glad you get to share this.
So she gets through all this. She does, and it's just, it was true. But also, I turned to my friend, Alan, who's sitting behind me, because you don't always get to sit next to
right, yeah.
And I my mouth was open, and I was just like, in my brain, I was like, oh no. Oh God. I hope she's not high. She's not high. No, she's not high. She's fine. She's fine. It's fine. She's good. She's getting better. She's singing. She sounds amazing. It's fine. It's fine. And then Oprah comes back after all of this. So they finish the interview. Everything's done. Oprah comes back on the stage. Backtracking. Sorry. Really quick. I'm sorry. I know that this is longer than what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So Whitney finishes, and Oprah comes back on stage, and she says, you know, I've been saying for years that we need to fix the stage. Maybe now we'll fix the fucking stage. And we were like, ah! Ah! Yes!
Oprah just said fuck.
Yes, she said fuck. And then after the interview's over, everyone's leaving, and Oprah comes back, and she's teary, and she's like, I just really hope that all of you will respect the integrity of what happened in this room today, because if word were to get out about this, it could be potentially very bad for Whitney. And everyone was like, oh, it's fine, yeah! Because she was afraid that people were gonna, I don't know.
She was high on the Oprah show.
Yeah, or like people had cell phones or whatever, even though at that point
no one could bring it in.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is my Houston on Oprah.
So that's great. That's good. And now we move on to the happy stuff, the good stuff. I want to talk about. Can I have this kiss forever? I'm kidding. No, I wanted to talk about
same script, different cast.
I wanted to talk about
shoot.
I want to talk about the national anthem.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
We will have to talk about Waiting to Exhale for a minute at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's right now because we're at 29 minutes.
The national anthem, so we watched it right before we started recording, and I got, full body chills. They started on my arms, and then they slowly spread up my spine, and then it was just literally...
Because there's no better anthem.
Every inch of my skin was standing on end.
There's no better anthem.
By the time we were done.
Fergie, Catalina, doesn't matter. No one can do it better.
If I were king of the universe, I would make it illegal for anyone to sing the national anthem on television, and we would just,
play that?
We would just play that. Why should we...
Also, why isn't that the official version?
Yeah.
Can we adopt that as a country? That's the official version of our national anthem?
Yeah.
Whitney Houston's Ghost for president.
Right. I don't need Deaf Fergie Jam or whatever ever the fuck again.
Or R. Kelly Samba version.
Yeah. Oh my god, the R. Kelly Samba! I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
No one comes close.
Mm-hmm.
I in my estimation, I don't know.
Shoot.
Better. Shoot.
Okay, that song's super overrated, right? That's not just me.
I love it, but I understand the argument for it being overrated. I think really what it is that I just don't like Babyface. Ooh, that's tough.
If I told you tough. That featuring George Michael.
Oh, that's tough. Okay, so I will say this about Waiting to Exhale. I actually thought about this a long time about maybe making an argument for including the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack in the ranking.
No.
And here's why. Let me finish.
It would have been 9th, I can tell you that. Right? Because I listened to it.
And it's
just say what you need to say.
I think Waiting to Exhale, the soundtrack is we have gorgeous Whitney vocals.
Black pop talent.
We have gorgeous Whitney vocals. We have the old and the new. We have a stunning Aretha song. We have an amazing Toni Braxton song. We have incredible, one of Mary J. Blige's greatest songs of all time. It suits that movie so well. I think it is truly an excellent album from beginning to end, and I think that as far as soundtracks go, like if you want to, if we're looking at, like, for example, The Bodyguard, we can talk about 6 songs being great and the rest of it being inconsequential. But
What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding?
But if we're talking about a
It's gonna
soundtrack
be a lovely day.
that actually
Thank you,
tells
Also,
stories.
Let Nick Shoda finish. God, he's only been talking for like 10 minutes.
Whoa!
Out of 90-100.
Whoa!
You realize the microphone is blended in one place.
Nick Shoda
Capture
just
you.
did a full spin.
Oh, I've been spinning constantly in this. Anyway, I'll just say, Waiting to Exhale is an excellent album. No, I understand. You can look. Nothing is for everyone, and that is okay. I think it's excellent. I think it suits the movie beautifully. Yes.
All right, we've been talking about Whitney for 2.5 hours. Nick Shoda,
What's up?
last thing you want to say about Wits?
Oh,
Could be
that's
a factoid,
so hard.
could be a story,
Oh my
could
God.
be a song that we don't know about.
Story. I think that I want to come back to the idea that her musicianship is underrated. That has always and forever been my...
Define musicianship in this case.
Well, so we think about
Is it technically great
these
singer?
big vocalists
Yeah.
as just that, as vocalists. We don't think about them in the context of their musicianship. But when you hear people talk about working with her and her ability to interpret music and her ability to take songs and make them their own, that is musicianship that we tend to discount. And I think that so much of the criticism that she received in her career was all about the fact that, like, yeah, other people wrote and produced her songs. Sure, great. But that greatly undervalues what she brought to the table, which was so much. And somebody asked her at one point, you know, when are you going to produce? And she said, well, when I step into the booth, I produce my vocals. Nobody tells me how or what to sing. That's me. And I think that that's a lesson in how we should view singers. It's not just, I'm going to park and bark my pants off. It's about intention and feeling and really finding your way into a song. And the reason that I love her so much and why she's been so enduring in my life is that you can find so many different interpretations from her of the same song. She never sings it the same way twice. She finds different things here and there. She switches it up. And I think that is why she deserves to be considered a brilliant musician. And that would be my last thing to say.
And the thing is that your love of Whitney is my love. And my love is your love.
And it should be everybody's love, goddammit.
2 last things I will say before we close the book on our beloved Whit. One, of course, her Grammy performance from, I believe, the 1988 Grammys, when she does her dance routine, a little dance routine to fucking, I Want to Dance with Somebody. It's cute. It's really cute. It's kind of great.
She's just super cute all the time, though.
Yeah.
Whitney dancing is the most charming. It's so charming. It's just like, you know, it's just great.
Like,
I don't know.
you're trying. Good job, sweetie.
Yeah.
But she also,
You did it.
she learned that was not her thing, and she didn't do it anymore.
Yeah, like those early clips where she's dancing in Fringe. And last but not least, for the fans out there, because you recommended the bootlegs, number 1 Whitney bootleg, go.
Oh, that's so hard.
Give us 3.
I mean, okay. So I'm really sorry to have to do this. I have to look it up on my phone really
I'll cut
quickly.
it. It's fine.
All of these are on YouTube. Shit. There's one, a full-length one on YouTube that's in California in 1987. I don't know where specifically. That's really great. There's one in 86 from Jones Beach, New York. There's one in London from 86. There's, Philadelphia, June 26, 1994 is really great. Also, San Jose, 86 is really great. And there are individual performances that have been captured here and there that I could go on about forever and ever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Whitney, I want you to know that Shoda and me and Taran, but especially Shoda, are thinking about you. And we appreciate everything that you've done. You make us say, oh yes, we learn from the best. It's just, I believe in you and me. I'm just going to stop. But in the meantime,
Jesus.
though, I want to say, Shoda, there could have been no other guest that could have done this,
Oh,
and I really do mean that. So
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful that I got to do this. This was super fun.
yeah. This is like longer than both of your other podcasts you've done.
Is it
with us.
really?
No, I
Oh,
don't think it is,
shit.
but, like,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
It's been a while. But
I'm
still,
so. Can I just thank you also for like letting me trick you into talking about my favorite singers of all time?
Trick
like,
you? We were
3
happy
different
to do
times.
it,
This
yeah.
is just the delight of my life.
Yeah.
We were excited to have someone who knew so much about these people guide us through our, crazy opinions.
So that being said, guys, if you love Nick Shoda as much as we do, please leave a ranking on the iTunes, subscribe to us on iTunes and SoundCloud and all the other things.
The
Hashtag
places.
AllStars3 places. Do the thing, do the thing. Oh god, we're gonna stop this right now. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one. Goodbye. And it's our delightful and wonderful guest that we're happy to have back for a third time, Nicholas Shoda.
Hello. That's.
All right, well, I don't know how long this episode's going to be, but we are into it.